to the Comic Schtick Podcast, the podcast where comics are my shtick. My name is Blake Wild, you may also know me as Smokey's Videos. And on this week's episode, we are talking about Kenobi and a whole lot of Star Wars. Specifically, all the stuff from Star Wars Celebration that I bothered to watch. Now that I think about it, I did not watch ANDOR trailer or the Jedi game, whatever that one's called, Jedi Survivor or something like that. I forgot to watch those too, so I got plenty of other stuff to fill the time. But of course, before I get started, Destructo Boy, the Era of Alpha Cardinal Part 1 of 2 is on sale now for $9.99 on Etsy.com/shop/Blake T. Wild. Make sure you capitalize the B, T, and W. And this is a completed comic book, ladies and gentlemen. This is... every time I do this, I always flip it the wrong way. This is a completed comic book, ladies and gentlemen. A full story, beginning and ending, even though it's a part one of a two-parter little mini arc of stories. And it is about Destructo Boy, who is that little robot right there, who lives on a giant space station called Zephyrus and fights bad guys and saves the day. And he's not called Destructo Boy for no reason. He will stop at nothing to make sure that his home is safe. Not just for himself, but for everybody else. The first issue, or the first two issues, follow him fighting this big old villain called Alpha Cardinal. Alpha Cardinal is a long-lost member of an even longer-lost cult that used to reside on Zephyrus that was thought to be rumored. But when he reemerges in the criminal underground, slowly taking over, only Destructo Boy can put a stop to his evil reign. Check it out, $9.99 on Etsy.com for the physical copy, $5 for the digital. If you do buy a physical copy, you do get a free head sketch of any character included. It can be Superman, it can be Spider-Man, it can be Duke Nukem, it can be some anime character, whatever. Anything you want. I'll do Voltron. Any character that you want me to draw, I will include right here. So right when you open the book, you'll get the sketch, and you'll get a signature by myself right here. And that is included for free when you order a physical copy. $9.99 plus shipping and handling. Check that out, etsy.com/shop/Blake T. Wild. So let's get right into things. Normally I would talk about comic books here, but I haven't had time to read the issues that I got. So instead, I'm going to be talking about Phoenix Comic Con. As you can see from my shirt from, does this have the year on it anywhere? Probably like 2015, 2016? I don't know. I don't remember when I got this. I don't know. I don't see it anywhere. Whatever. It's not called Phoenix Comic Con anymore. It's called Phoenix Fan Fusion because of legal disputes between San Diego Comic Con. I don't get why they didn't just call it Phoenix Comic Convention. Are they really trying to copyright Comic Convention? That's pretty fucked up. I'm pretty sure it's just Comic Con. But for some reason, they now decide to call it Phoenix Fan Fusion, which is not a name I care for. But yeah, we went there. My girlfriend and I went up to Phoenix over the weekend, and we went to the convention on Sunday, had a great time. It was really fucking busy. It makes sense because, it hasn't occurred in the past 3 years due to the COVID pandemic, but I always go the last day of the convention because there's less people, and typically the vendors are trying to get rid of their products, so they're selling it for cheaper. They're including free things, like, hey, you buy this amount, I'll throw in a couple more, like, comic books or whatever. Stuff like that. People are just trying to get rid of stuff at the last day. But today the day we went, Sunday, may as well have been the first day of the whole show, with how many people were there. The prices were seemingly about the same. I didn't see like a whole lot of discounted stuff, just, plain, shops selling it at regular prices and everything. We did film a vlog covering the whole weekend. I'm thinking of calling it Phoenix Fan Fusion There and Back Again, like The Hobbit. So I'm going to be editing that video and putting that together. It was just something fun I wanted to do, just because, I don't really do much that warrants vlogging, so I figured, hey, why not? And also, I don't know when our next real vacation is going to be. It's going to be a while. So I figured, why not make a big or a special ordeal out of it and make a little documentary following our tales. So if you're into vlogs or whatever, check that out. I didn't get a whole lot of footage of the convention floor. I did get a lot of photos. I got some, shots here and there, some like B-roll crap. But my biggest issue with that is, one, I just felt awkward filming, this just crowds of people going about their business. That's what happens when I don't have my normal water cup. Instead, I have this unbranded water bottle because I'm a real production. One, I just felt weird filming people going about their business. And two, the amount of people there, I could not get, very good views of, really much, just because it would have been people's backs and, just people walking by. It was so crowded that it wouldn't have been very interesting to look at. But yeah, I did get a lot of stuff filmed over the weekend. So stay tuned for that. Still waiting on my Fast and Fermented video to get the dispute approved from Universal, trying to copyright strike it. So stay tuned for that as well. But yeah, Phoenix Fan Fusion, did anybody watching this go? Have you gone to any conventions recently? Are you planning on going to any conventions in the near future? I, for one, am very happy that I went back. I've been missing it for the past 3 years. Really looking forward to it. I got my 2 comics signed by John Romita Jr. It was Daredevil 254 and 270, the first appearance of Typhoid Mary and Blackheart, respectively. If you've been following this podcast since the beginning, I reread and then I continued to read the entirety of Ann Nocenti's Daredevil run, which primarily has John Romita Jr. on the art duties, pencil duties on that, along with Al Williamson on inks, Max Shield on colors, Joe Rosen lettering, and so that was a great time. I got to tell him how much I love and appreciated that, that run of comics, how I think it's one of the greatest comic series there's been. It's just, talk about a dream team. That team is just such a fantastic combination of creative people. I discussed this, I think last episode, I think it was last episode when I finished discussing Ann Nocenti's Daredevil run. So check that out. Got Jim Starlin to autograph all 4 issues of Batman the Cult. That was nice. Also, he was telling me more about Punisher POV, just because I was telling him how much I enjoy his and Bernie Wrightson's collaborations. So he was telling me about that, about how it was originally pitched as a sequel to Batman the Cult, but DC didn't want it for whatever reason, so he just repackaged it as a Punisher story, which I always thought was just an unfounded rumor people started, but no, I got it from the source. That is real. So that's going to be interesting when I cover that, because Batman the Cult is my favorite Batman comic story of all time, and Punisher POV is a fun story. Who else did I get? I got Bob McLeod as an autograph on there. He's a very quiet man. Got him to sign New Mutants #1. He was nice, though. And yeah, other than that, I bought a lot of money worth of comics. You'll see in the video. Or, check out my Instagram, @NotBlakeWild. I posted my haul from there. And I think my favorite thing next to the John Romita Jr. autographs is I finally completed my 2001 A Space Odyssey collection, which is issues 1 through 10, written, drawn by Jack Kirby. I can't remember who does the inks. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's such an incredible series, and I never thought I would be able to complete it, because issue 8 or 9, I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be, I think it's 8. I think issue 8 happens, and that is the introduction of Marvel character Machine Man. Because I guess Marvel editorial went to Jack Kirby and they're like, hey Jack, yeah, I know we're doing this whole licensed property thing with 2001, and you're doing like your whole, like, you're doing your own thing. So if you want to just go ahead and, you know, make some characters we can continue to use and make money off of, that'd be great. So that is the introduction of Machine Man, and that book always goes for just exorbitant amount of money, and I finally found it and the 3 or 4 other issues I needed to complete my 2001 run. The Machine Man issue was $80, but thankfully my loving, generous, benevolent fiance let me get it.
You know you said girlfriend and fiance.
Whatever.
They're gonna think you have a fiance and a girlfriend.
Yeah, I do. She is also in the room for the first time. My live studio audience. I pulled the applause button. Do you not see the applause sign is on? Thank you. Okay. That's only going to work if you're watching the video of it. Yeah, just bought a lot of comic books, met some cool little independent creators. There's this comic called Dose, D-O-S-E, exclamation point, you know, like dosage or something. It's just an insane book. Go check that out. But yeah, it was a fun time. Like I said, let me know, been in any conventions? Did you go to Phoenix Comic Con Fan Fusion? Have you been there in the past? Let me know in the comments. And now on to more topical topics. And that is Indiana Jones 5. We've known it's been in the works. You may have seen some leaked images from the set of, like, it's, what was it? It's like a marching band going down, like, a main street, and there's some, like, flashback scenes where they're just gonna, like, digitize Harrison Ford's younger face onto some stunt double guy. And they're on, like, horseback, I think. But we finally have the poster for Indiana Jones 5 released, and it is definitely Indiana Jones. It's gold in color, and it's directed by James Mangold, who directed Logan and Ford v Ferrari and some other stuff I can't remember. But yeah, it looks fun. That makes sense that they would announce it at Star Wars Celebration, because I feel like that's the only way you can get Harrison Ford to go to Star Wars Celebration without paying him a lot of money. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I love Indiana Jones. Big part of my childhood, so I'm looking forward to it. Next topic, well, not another leak. This is a big leak, kind of. I guess it's leak is the correct term. And that is the Blue Beetle suit. The Jaime Reyes? I can never remember the character's name. The new Blue Beetle, the younger guy, the young teenager, he is going to be in his own Blue Beetle movie. I talked about it a couple episodes ago, but people have taken photos from them filming on set, and it looks fantastic. It looks great. I'm very excited. I don't know much about Blue Beetle, specifically Jaime Reyes. I really hope that's his name. It sounds right, but at the same time it doesn't. Whatever. I know more about Ted Kord. I have a fair amount of issues from the Len Wein Blue Beetle series that I have not read yet, but I need to get around to. I mean, come on, it's Len Wein. How can you not enjoy it and read it? But yeah, I'm more familiar with him rather than Jaime. Jaime Reyes I only know from, I think, like Batman Brave and the Bold and whatever appearances he was in, like New 52 books. I think that's when he was introduced. But yeah, the suit, it looks fucking incredible. It looks damn near comic accurate. The only thing I wonder is if the eyes and mouth are going to be animated, because in the, like, his cartoon animated appearances and sometimes in the comic, I don't know how the suit exactly works, but it just, like, ends at his mouth line so you can see his teeth and shit. So maybe it'll have some sort of, like, digitized, like, mechanical mouth movement going on. Sort of like Ambush Bug, I guess. Like, you know, his mouth moves, but it's still the costume part. Or maybe we'll just see his mouth and his teeth. The eyes, they occasionally have pupils. like big digital pupils, but sometimes they don't, so who knows. My biggest fear is that they will do what they've done with the Spider-Man costumes from the Tom Holland films and all of his MCU appearances, and that is they make a physical Spider-Man costume for him to wear that looks great and works well, and then they just completely remove it and replace it with a CGI version. They even do that when he's just standing around, and it's painfully obvious, especially in his first appearance in Civil War. You can really tell that that's fake. So I really hope that that's not what they're going to do with this. CGI enhancements would easily work on this suit. Any, like a little weaponry or gadgetry that he has coming off of it, glowing lights emitting from it. I really hope that it isn't just completely wiped over by a CGI rendered suit. That's my main worry about this film, because it seems like it'd be fun, like a fun movie. Fun movie for, if it's more of like a Shazam, where it's, more oriented on the coming of age aspect, and it's a good, you can get the audience for people who are familiar with the character, people who like Ted Kord Blue Beetle, people like Jaime Reyes, people who like Blue Beetle in general, people who like Blue, people who like Beetles. You get the, Hispanic and Spanish and Latin demographics. You get teenagers who dig it. You get young kids who, young Hispanic kid, for example, like Jaime Reyes, sees Jaime Reyes on the screen, is like, wow, I'm represented now. So that's really cool. I'm looking forward to it. The villain, I don't know what that's about. It's like Ted Kord's evil wife or something, and the suit being CGI'd over are my biggest worries about the film. And now, before we get to Star Wars, I'm going to talk about another exciting series that has come out. And that is Stranger Things Season 4. Stranger Things, the show that just keeps going no matter what. I personally think it should have ended after Season 1, but I digress. I don't, actually. Season 2 was terrible. Season 3 is alright. Season 4 has been pretty damn great. I'm only 2 episodes in, so please don't spoil it for me. But it is, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. I said it multiple times when we were watching it, much to my annoyance of my fiancé girlfriend. She got very mad at me for saying how much it reminded me of Nightmare on Elm Street. Even the fact that, I'm going to be spoiling this show. Even the fact that fucking Freddy Krueger, there's a cardboard cutout of Freddy Krueger in the video store that Steve and Robin work at. Even the music is just very similar to Friday the 13th. The villain is basically a weird, gross version of Freddy Krueger, even has the giant hand, except I think the monster, was it Vecna? Is that what they call him? I think his hand's the left hand and Freddy has the right-handed glove. It's been a while since I've watched it. Or are they both left-handed? I think they both may be left-handed. I can't remember. Yeah, it's fun. I really dig the horror element. It's really diving deep. Eddie, the new character introduced, the D&D Dungeon Master, is great. He's my favorite. I love him. He and Steve are now my favorite characters. I don't really give a shit about the Joyce or Hopper storyline because I don't like that Hopper isn't dead. They really should have just killed him at the end of Season 3, because there's the whole emotional build-up and impact of Eleven having to move past it and having her father figure die. And, heroically, he sacrifices himself to save everyone, and he dies in the process. And even the ending of Season 3, there's the whole emotional climax of her finding this letter that he wrote to her before he died. And all of that is just swept away by the reveal that, the Russians have him under lock and key. it's just so annoying. They should have, if they wanted to keep David Hopper around, they should have just done flashbacks to, you know, when she was living with him, instead of just fucking putting him in a labor camp in, like, Siberia or wherever he is. That is just so dumb. Every time, like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in, but episode 2 is primarily made up of the Joyce Murray for trying to find Hopper and the Hopper flashbacks, and I just could not give any less of a shit about that. I'll be honest. I don't care. He should have stayed dead. As I was watching the episode, I was thinking, how can I cut all of this out to make my own version of the Stranger Things where Hopper's dead? Maybe that's what I'll do when I finish watching the series. I'll make a fan edit of season 4 called the Hopper's Dead Cut, because I think that would be much better. You know, it would have to cut out all of Joyce and Murray. God damn it. It would have to cut out all of Joyce and Murray. What else? I don't know. Sorry, I hit the mic. At this point in the show, their paths haven't really crossed much with the kids, so it might be pretty easy to do, but goddamn, I just wish Hopper died. In addition, like I said, going back to Eddie, I love him as a character. He's really fun. He kind of looks like Ezra Miller, especially in the cafeteria introduction scene when we first see him. Just something about his face reminds me of Ezra Miller. If Netflix was smart, what they would do is have a tie-in with Dungeons and Dragons, where what is the company called that makes Dungeons and Dragons? I have no idea. They would have a tie-in, which is the Cult of Vecna module. If you're unaware, modules in Dungeons and Dragons speak is the little, like, pre-written, like, mission storylines that you can just purchase and play through them if you don't want to come up with your own. Like, they're missing out by not doing that. The Green Knight did it. A24 did it. I have it right here. Yes, I did buy this fantasy role-playing game. Like, is this just made by A24? I don't think it is. Yeah, A24 just made their own version of Dungeons and Dragons. Why doesn't Netflix just do this with, like, the Cult of Vecna or something like that? Like, just Stranger Things, the Cult of Vecna, a fantasy role-playing game or something along those lines. Just make it yourself, because this comes with everything. This comes with the Game Master's Guide, a map of the realm, character sheets, dice, everything else. Check out Green Knight if you haven't, by the way. I love that film. I would buy it. I haven't used that because I don't have any friends who play Dungeons and Dragons. I also just don't have any friends. But, goddamn, can you imagine how much money they would make if they started selling, like, you know, here is a special showcase on the Netflix store. It's Eddie Munson's Dungeons and Dragons modules, or fantasy role-playing modules, whatever. That would just be really fun. And it'd be a great marketing gimmick, much better than the fucking just selling Dustin's hat again, or I don't know what else they're doing. Fucking Funko Pops, who knows. What else do I have to say? I already covered the whole fact that this is just Nightmare on Elm Street. I hate Hopper being alive. I love Eddie. Let's see. The storylines are all right. I don't really care for what's going on in California. You know, I guess that's to be expected since it's completely different. 11 going through her whole Carrie remake. What else? I wish that we got more Steve and Robin just hanging out together, because those two are just such great characters together. I would have loved to see them just gossiping more in the video store. And, yeah, I don't know what else there is. That's about it. Those are my specifications for what I wanted to talk about. Everything else would just be more general. I am enjoying it. This is a lot more entertaining than I had. I'm feeling a lot more entertained than I did when I watched season 2 and 3. I haven't felt, this interested in the story since season 1, because season 2 just redid season 1, and season 3 was fun, but it was pretty alright. This one, it feels refreshingly new. And I don't know if that's because it took them about 3 years to release, because, let's see, the first season came out in 2016, second in 2017, and the third was 2 years later in 2019, and this one's 2022. So maybe just that break is what helped. Speaking of the break, because 3 years have passed, that means all the children have grown up, and they're all like 18, 19, maybe 20 something. It's ridiculous that they're still trying to pass them off as high school students. I think currently the main 4 characters are supposed to be like freshmen of high school, but they look like they're at least sophomores or juniors. I don't know what ages those are for anyone outside of America, but I feel like I don't have to worry about it since most of my demographic is in America, so you'll get what I'm talking about. I don't know how much time has passed. Do you know how much time has passed since season 2 and 3? Or say 3 and 4? Is it just a year and a half?
It was a month.
A month?
Because remember when Elle got the letter, she's like a month with the letters? And they were talking about the letters between each other?
Oh my god, I hope it's not a month.
Was it a month? Well,
That could have just been that 1 month, though.
I guess so.
I hope it's not a month between season 3 and 4, and the different fucking Will grew like a whole foot in a month. I hope it's not that. That'd be ridiculous. I hope it's a year at least. God, because they weren't in high school in season 3, were they?
Season 3, they were on summer vacation, so.
Oh God. I don't know. I hope it'd be a year at least, or a year and a half, because that would be what makes sense. Because, the kids grew up. I was talking to somebody about this today, and that's the issue with properties and media with children as the actors, is that you got to do it quick because those little motherfuckers grow up fast. So we brought up Harry Potter, and I think that the thing with Harry Potter is that because it was less noticeable with Harry Potter than it is with, for example, Stranger Things. And I feel personally that is because Harry Potter really leaned into the fact that, these movies weren't happening very close together. They were happening like every year or every year and a half, 2 years. Like the films, when the films came out, sort of coincided with how much time had passed between, their time at Hogwarts when they last saw each other. Because isn't each Harry... I think I gotta go back to her again. Isn't Harry Potter the movies... Isn't it like a whole school year and then they get it all... everybody leaves at the end, like for the most part? Yeah, so it's... they have that time going through. So that way it makes sense to see, like, between Harry Potter episode 2 and 3, they look different because they grew up. Whereas here, they're trying to keep the timeline so compacted that it's not providing a realistic or, very well done aspect of the story. So I feel like they should have, that was a big snore. I feel like, if anything, they should have started it off, in the intro. If you've seen the first episode, it starts with the paperboy. Oh, well, that's a flashback, though, I think. Yeah. Or is it? I don't know. It's not? Oh, yeah. They should have just... Well, fuck, because they do say the dates. It's 1986. I gotta Google it. Let's see. Stranger Things Season 3. Alright, you're going to find out with me what year Stranger Things Season 3 took place. Alright, please just let Wikipedia tell me. I don't feel like going to the Stranger Things fandom wiki like I always have to do for these dumb questions I look up. Summer of 1985. So, about a year, I'll say. Let's see what it says for Stranger Things Season 4. Stranger Things Season 4. It just says 9 months? Oh my god. That's not even a year. God damn. The fucking puberty hit those kids hard. There must be something in the water in Hawkins or something. There's like some runoff residue from that lab up the hill that's making their kids get huge. Even the basketball captain. He looks like the coach. Oh god. They should have been like a year and a half or a year later. Whatever. The thing I wanted to talk about is my theory on what is going to happen. So, you know, I've only seen the first 2 episodes, so that's what I'm basing this off of. And that is, the Vacna, the creepy little noseless, sort of looks like Swamp Thing monster man. I do like the design. It's a really cool design, how, like, I don't know what it is. I guess it's like the underground, or what is it? The upside down roots coming off the back of his head and like going into his musculature, and how it's like constantly flowing. It's just a cool looking design that looks a lot less scary and impactful when he steps out into the light. They should have just kept him cast in shadows because he has those like pinhole glowing eyes. But you know, as soon as he steps out, it's just a dude with no nose. Another, you know, Harry Potter thing. But anyway, we learned that from Eddie's uncle that there was this guy who was killing kids, killed his family, named Victor Creel, who went to either prison or an asylum or something, and he hasn't been seen since. And the guy's like, oh, I think he broke out like that guy with the white mask. That looks like William Shatner. He's like, oh, maybe he broke out. So unless that is a huge red herring mislead, which it might be, my current theory is that Victor Creel is the Vacna, the house we see him at in the underground at the end of episode 2 when like all those roots and shit are coming out of his back. That's his house in real life. And when he went to prison or the asylum or whatever, maybe he has the telepathic powers to interface with the upside-down beings, or maybe he learns about it somewhere, and, you know, he's like, oh, this is my chance to escape. And so, you know, he tries to escape through the upside-down, but things go wrong. His consciousness or his soul or whatever gets trapped in the upside down, and he becomes Freddy Krueger with no pants, or if he's not trapped there, maybe it's like a conscious thing, like he sort of astral projects himself into the I keep saying underground, the upside down, and you know, then is when he has all these powers and can control the Vacna. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking so far. If anybody else has, you know, is watching slowly like myself, let me know what your thoughts are of Stranger Things, season 4, episode 1 and 2, or the previous seasons. So far, I'm gonna wrap this up because I got a lot of Star Wars shit to discuss. So far, if I had to rank them, I'd go season 1, 4, 3, 2. I don't know, I feel like that might be a general consensus. Maybe swap 3 and 4 around. I feel like nobody likes season 2. Let me know in the comments. And now moving on to the big main course. And that is Star Wars Celebration 2022. Gonna start this right off with talking about The Mandalorian Season 3, which is going to be coming out in February 2023, and they've also announced that Mandalorian Season 4 is already in production. Spoilers for Mandalorian Season 3, just skip ahead to the next segment of news, and that is, hey, Babu Frick is showing up. There was a leaked teaser trailer that they showed at the convention, the celebration of Star Wars, that features Babu Frick, who's the little tiny man who like hotwires C-3PO and overclocks him in Return of the Jedi, or not Return of the Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. We see Mandalore in ruins, so they're going back there. And the rumor is that the storyline is going to be about the Mandalorian clans uniting to reclaim their planet. What that means, I do not know, because the planet looks pretty goddamn barren and lifeless. So I don't know what they're reclaiming. I doubt there's any Imperial presence left. Maybe some, like, outpost just to make sure that, you know, the Mandalorians aren't trying to come back to their homeland or something. And, you know, start, you know, have a base of operations where they can all go to, just to make sure that they're scattered and dispersed across the universe. But yeah, it's about Mando going to the different clans and uniting them. We see in the trailer, what is her name? Bo-Katan. We see her sitting on this giant throne in Mandalore. So, you know, I bet she's not going to have much to do with ruling, at least not initially. But I'm excited. February 2023. I don't know why they're waiting until February. Because I don't think there's anything else that comes out in December. Because, yeah, it's just ANDOR, and that's supposed to be late summer of this year. And I don't know when... I can't remember when Ahsoka comes out. But, yeah, Ahsoka news. Going right on into this. Ahsoka news. Another leaked trailer. We see Sabine Wren, at least her from the back. The actor Natasha Liu Bordizzo has been casted to play Sabine, and she looks just like the animated version, so that's excellent casting. Sabine and Hera are also present in that trailer. We see Ahsoka walking, and Sabine and Hera flanking her up from each side. They're walking down a hallway or something. So that's cool. I doubt we're going to see a lot of Hera. She'll probably just be, like, you know, in an episode or two maybe. You know, she's a single mother now. She's got to take care of Jason. Hopefully we will see Chopper as well. Hopefully he will murder some people, because that is his thing. And we also get a glimpse at Huyang. I can't remember how you pronounce his name. If you're unfamiliar, that is a droid from an episode, like one episode, of the Clone Wars TV show. And that episode is about a group of younglings going to... what's the planet? Damn, I can't remember the planet's name. It's the planet that the Empire turned into Starkiller Base. It's where the Jedi used to take the younglings to harvest and, you know, collect their kyber crystals. This droid is the one who, like, he led the field trip for the younglings, essentially. Like, for generations and hundreds of thousands of years, this droid has trained Jedi and Padawans and whatever. So that's exciting. Hopefully, that means we get to see some, you know, Padawans that we saw in that episode. In the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer, we see one of those Padawans, who is the little Jedi Wookiee named Gungi. So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe another Wookiee will show up. Who knows? On to ANDOR teaser trailer. Like I said at the start of this episode, I forgot to watch it. But I'm excited because, you know, hopefully it'll be gritty. Having not seen it, I'm expecting something sort of like Bourne or Mission Impossible, but with ANDOR. And they've already announced that there's going to be a 12-episode Season 2. So, yeah, they got a lot of ANDOR coming. Star Wars Visions Season 2 has been announced for spring of 2023. Star Wars Visions, if you don't remember or are unaware, was an anthology show released on Disney Plus, I think this year. Yeah, I think it was this year. Earlier this year. Or maybe not. No, it was last year. It was 2021. I forgot what year it was. It's a bunch of Star Wars anime. Just, you know, different art styles, different stories, one-offs, stuff as such. So I'm excited to see where that goes. I wonder if there'll be any continuations, because, like, one or two of those episodes did have the realm of possibility for it to continue. Most of them were just one-off stories. Star Wars Skeleton Crew has been announced, and that is apparently going to be post-Return of the Jedi, and is going to follow a group of kids in, I guess, like, some sort of Goonies Stand By Me situation. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of information about it. I did see someone on Reddit suggest that they could be Force-sensitive children. And maybe Jude Law, who is cast to star in the show, is playing a young Lor Santeca. Lor Santeca is the old man from the beginning of The Force Awakens. He's that old man that Poe meets in the tent in the middle of that desert planet. Is that Jakku? Yeah, it is. That's Lor Santeca, is that old man that Kylo Ren then kills. So maybe they kind of look similar. He and Lor Santeca's original actor, whose name I cannot remember. Let's see, what else is there? Tales of the Jedi. I'm excited to see where this goes, because Dave Filoni was like, oh, if there's enough interest, maybe we'll do it. And I'm like, Dave, it's Star Wars. There's going to be enough interest. That is going to be in another anthology series. This time it is one contains Strick's art style, though. And it's going to be taking place pre-Episode 1 in the era of the Republic. And it's going to be like 6 episodes, maybe? And they're going to be following just Jedi. So it's going to be Master Dooku and his Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn, Padawan Mace Windu, and possibly Yoda. I think Yoda was Mace's master. And there's also going to be some stuff with little baby Ahsoka, who at that time was not a Jedi or anything, but I think she's like maybe 2 or 3, maybe I can't remember how old she is, but like her family were all killed, and Plo Koon was the guy who rescues her. And Dave Filoni loves Plo Koon, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of Plo. So that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that one a lot. Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation. They announced this. It's going to be another one of the Lego Star Wars movies. I know some people are like, oh, that's just like He-Man or Thundercats. It's just one big toy commercial under the guise of a kid's cartoon. Yes, you are correct, but they are still very enjoyable, far more enjoyable than He-Man or any of those other Transformers, G.I. Joe, anything like that. I really dug the Life Day one, and the Halloween one was really fun, so I'm excited to see this. It's like Finn is wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, and I don't know, BB-8's probably gonna be painted like or be used as a volleyball or something. So it looks fun and cute, and I can't wait to check it out. And sort of in the similar vein of Lego video game sort of thing is my connection I'm doing here. And that is Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is the sequel to Star Wars Fallen Order, I think is what it's called. I never played it. I tried watching the playthrough of it, just like the cutscenes with a little bit of gameplay. Even then, I just couldn't get interested. I'll have to check it out again. I never got it. I heard it was like Dark Souls, but with Star Wars. I don't know. I don't play that many video games anymore, so I never bothered getting it. I was excited when it came out, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get it once this new one comes out. I'm sure it'll be cheaper. But yeah, I also didn't watch the trailer here. It's going to be about Cal Kestis continuing his journey into wherever his journey leads to ensure that he doesn't show up in any future properties, I'd imagine. Maybe somewhere along the line, maybe in Ahsoka or another Disney Plus show, Cal Kestis will appear, but for now, he is relegated to the video games. And now, on to the piece de resistance, Kenobi. I don't know why I said it like that. Obert-Wan Benobi, episodes 1 and 2, because like usual, I'm going to be a week behind, just like with Moon Knight, because they're releasing this every Wednesday, which again makes me wonder if they did that initial thing where they released 2 episodes because of some sort of scheduling conflict with other Disney Plus shows. I think I spoke about it last episode or the episode prior, but Ms. Marvel is going to be coming out as Obi-Wan Kenobi is wrapping up. Like, they're going to be airing the same weeks for at least a couple episodes. And I don't know if they have announced it yet, but I don't think they have, whether, like, what day Miss Marvel is going to be on. Do you remember what days Moon Knight was released? Was that Wednesday as well? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Moon Knight was released on Wednesdays, so does that mean Miss Marvel is also going to be released on Wednesdays? And are we going to have Kenobi and Miss Marvel releasing the same day? Maybe the skipping of 2 episodes, or, skipping an episode by the week, will mean that Obi-Wan ends, and then the next week they'll start Miss Marvel, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's going to start as Obi-Wan is still airing. So, we're going to have multiple Disney Plus shows running at the same time. I believe the same is going to be happening with She-Hulk and Andor. Both of those are supposed to happen sometime late summer, early fall-ish, around there. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about Obert-Wan Benobi, episode 1 and 2. Spoilers, obviously. Let me first off just say I loved it. I love Star Wars content. I need more Star Wars in my life. I really dug Boba Fett, or Book of Boba Fett, even though everybody hated it. For the sequels, I enjoyed them a fair amount. I didn't like Last Jedi, not for, like, the reasons everybody bitches about. At least I don't think so. I didn't like the editing or the story being... I didn't like the storyline or how it, like, cut back and forth. I felt, characters were wasted in what they could be doing. And the problem with Last Jedi is that it felt like an ending, even though it was the second film in the trilogy. The trilogy that was not planned out. But, more Star Wars is great I'm good with any Star Wars, as long as it keeps coming. So I'm just going to go down this list of little notes that I took and just discuss these. So, starting off, I noticed in the new introduction for the Star Wars, the one where it's like all the faces and helmets and the lights flashing around. I love that intro. That's such a cool intro. They have added a mouse droid to that intro for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. They just added a mouse droid. A mouse droid, for anyone unaware, is the little droids that you'll see on Imperial vessels that, like, squeak. In episode 4, Chewbacca roars at one and it skitters away, like it rolls away scared. I don't really know what their purpose is. It's some sort of like communications, like transfer maybe. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read their Wikipedia page. But yeah, I wonder, because there's been discussions of, like, the new films. There's going to be, like, 3 new films at least that take place in or after or around the sequel era, so 30 years after Return of the Jedi. I wonder if they're gonna keep using this intro for the new movies, because they didn't have it when Rise of Skywalker came out, but now they do. So is this going to, like, replace the 20th Century Fox? Is it going to be this, then the 20th Century Fox? Who knows? I don't know. I doubt it. It's probably just going to be for Disney Plus. The recap is great. I really enjoyed that. Found it very enjoyable to get that emotional, capturing again. I still cry whenever Obi-Wan... I'm getting teary-eyed right now thinking about it. Whenever Obi-Wan tells Anakin that he was his brother, and he's just so sad and heartbroken by what he's seeing happen to his best friend. It was cool. The Grand Inquisitor looks weird. I know it's not a big... that's what everybody's saying, because it's true. I don't understand why they didn't extend his head. Like, he doesn't do much in these 2 episodes. And Coneheads came out about 30 years ago, so we know it's a thing people can do to extend their heads up a little bit. They did it in episode 3. They had whatever his species is. And also, he sounds weird. His voice is odd. It's very reedy. But yeah, even, like, if they didn't want to do the makeup of having his head come up just a little more, like, goddamn, you couldn't just CGI that? Like, you can CGI everything else, but you can't do that. I don't know. It just bothers me how humanoid his head is. It feels like Star Trek, which, you know, Star Wars has never been. They've always gone all out on the weird alien designs, but this is just, oh, it's a guy in makeup and a bald cap. I do, however, like his, like, Hans Landa, I think that's his name from Inglourious Bastards, the Jew hunter, Nazi. I do like that sort of scene where they rock up on Tatooine to the little cantina bar, and, you know, he's interrogating people and, like, imposing his you know, force upon them, and he's very cool and calm and collected, but he's very threatening, so I like that. Obi-Wan's routine is just downright sad and pathetic for such a once great man. It's so sad seeing him and what his life has become. I like his little Jawa roommate that he hangs out with, and it was really cool seeing him give Luke his T-16 Skyhopper model, which Luke plays around with in Episode 4. So, you know, I'm sure that's going to get back to him somehow. Reva, the third sister, is terrible. And I hate her because she is such a shitty person. I do like her. I like her as a character. I don't have any problems with her, other than the fact that she's just such a shitty human being that is just psychotic and insane. Like, she is such a terrible person. Just deep down, I don't think there's any redemption for her. But, you know, that's what people said about Darth Vader as well, so who knows. The actress, I can't remember her name. She's doing a great job at making me just hate Reva, the third sister, whatever you want to call her. I would like to learn more about her history, but, you know, not showing it is still a great way to show what the Empire has done to, you know, people like her. All the Inquisitors are former Jedi who were corrupted into the dark side. So, you know, just seeing how she has become this way, so fanatical, so angry, so hate-filled, is, I think, enough to, you know, show the effects that Palpatine and the Empire at large has had on, you know, the former peacekeepers of the universe. Speaking of, continuing with Reva, the third sister, in the flashback to Order 66 in Episode 2, I think, there's a little black girl who has hair sort of like braided similar to Reva, so maybe that's her. Maybe, what could happen? What could happen? Because I haven't seen the third episode yet, obviously, but what could happen? Either one, she is that little girl. They get cornered, and all of the other Padawans die, and she's the only one left. 2, Anakin Skywalker finds them, and, you know, he slaughters them except for Reva. Maybe he can, like, feel the energy inside of her. Maybe Palpatine ordered him or instructed him to find Padawans of like a certain age and capture them. Maybe she gets captured along with some of the others. I don't know. 3, she kills the other Padawans and proves herself worthy of being trained as an Inquisitor. Her being an Inquisitor, specifically the third sister, seems recent, because there is a third brother who was in canon from a Darth Maul novel, but I'm pretty sure he died. So that's making me think that he died, and they replaced him with a third sister instead of another third brother. And, you know, the way that the others sort of speak to her, and how the Grand Inquisitor speaks down to her, and, like, you know, like, we took you in from the trash, blah, 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 stuff like that. Like, it seems like she is a very recent addition to these ranks and the Order of the Inquisitorius, or whatever they call themselves. So I think that, you know, she's a new add-on. She replaced the third brother who was killed. And continuing a little bit more with Reva, and that is her interaction with Owen Lars. Owen should not have been the guy who was interrogated. It should have been a new character that was introduced, somebody who maybe Ben knows as, you know, as Ben Kenobi, or maybe as Obi-Wan. I don't know, maybe I'd prefer Obi-Wan, or no, I prefer it being a character who knows him only as Ben Kenobi, the weird guy who works at that meat packing plant out in the desert. Or even just a random civilian, because we know that Owen isn't gonna be killed by Reva. He won't die. We know that. He has to wait another 9 or 10 years to be burnt alive in his house. We know what happens to him. But if it was someone else, if it was this new character that Obi-Wan is familiar with, we wouldn't know if Reva kills him or not. Especially after we just saw her cut off some random woman's hand. Like, she just does that and doesn't even blink. She just does that and she, like, doesn't even blink. She just keeps moving after she cuts off that woman's hand. So, like, you know, imagine that. Imagine the just tense. Imagine the intensity and suspense of that scene. She's just cut off a woman's hand, and now she's going and threatening this guy that we just met. We don't know if she's gonna kill him or not. What if she does? It's like some buddy of Ben's that they hang out with after work or something. And she's like, I know you know where the Jedi is. Like, she's sensing in his mind that he knows Obi-Wan, but he doesn't realize that he knows Obi-Wan. And, you know, maybe she does kill him. Maybe that is a sort of an inciting thing in Obi-Wan's life, that he unexpectedly, sort of unknowingly got this man killed. Or at least maimed. But yeah, I just feel like it shouldn't have been Ben who was interrogated by her in that courtyard. I saw the Leia kidnap plot immediately, but I did not see Reva being behind it. Also, Flea and the gang. It's so funny seeing Flea, bassist of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, lead a gang of criminals, of very shitty criminals, by the way. Like, how could they not catch that little girl in the forest? It's pretty easy to catch children when you're chasing them down in the forest. It was funny seeing them, and, you know, we don't have to worry about seeing them again because they're dead. Moving on to some episode 2 notes. The clone veteran, who's a homeless man on the streets. That is cool. That's something I've wanted to see, is just, you know, the impact. I know we saw it in Rebels with Wolf, Rex, and Gregor, but we really haven't seen it much anywhere else, what the impact is for the clones after they've all been decommissioned. So that was interesting. I hope we get to see more about that. Maybe in the Bad Batch show, which I forgot to mention. Bad Batch Season 2 has been announced. Trailers released. They all have new armor and shit. Check it out. Kumal Non-Jedi is in there. I thought he was going to die. Maybe that means he's going to come back in some shape or form. But other than that, it didn't... I don't know. It was alright. His addition was fine. It didn't bring me out of the show or anything. Obi-Wan has his little Breaking Bad moment where he dresses in the gas mask and shit and is sneaking around that drug plant or whatever he's doing. The Grand Inquisitor, I thought, looked a lot better in episode 2 than he did in episode 1, and I think that's due to the lighting. Episode 1, he's on Tatooine, he's mostly outdoors, it's very harsh lighting cast upon him, whereas in episode 2 it's darker, it can hide more of the things that are, you know, left to be desired about that design. Leia is wearing her little green poncho that is reminiscent of Return of the Jedi, and she also, I didn't realize this until afterward and saw the photo that somebody shared, but she's wearing like almost recreation of her outfit on Bespin in episode 5, the red and white gown. And also John Wick 3 is what that episode reminded me of. Is that not the plot of John Wick 3, where the whole city is fucking after him, but this time it's Obi-Wan? Oh no, instead of in John Wick 3, it's John Wick and his dog. In Obi-Wan, it's Obi-Wan and Leia. I didn't have an issue with Leia. She did get really annoying when Obi-Wan rescues her and she's doing all this bullshit, asking questions, being a little brat and like wandering off and stupid stuff, touching things. But I feel that was I don't know, I just feel like that was a ruse. She was just fucking with Obi-Wan. Her running away from him and not believing him being a Jedi, you know, she's still a kid. You gotta remember, even though this is a fictional story in a land far, far away, a long time ago, she is still a child. And seemingly, Star Wars children are similar to human children in our universe. No matter how smart she is at a young age, she's still gonna be a kid. So, you know, she doesn't trust this strange man. And she's like testing him and pushing him. And then when she gets scared, what do scared children do? They run away. I should know. I've had to chase a lot of them through the forest. But anyway, yeah, so that was really my biggest gripe with Leia as the kid. And that, you know, her experience here, I really hope that kidnap Leia plot is over by episode 3, like the beginning of episode 3. I really hope that doesn't continue. Just because I want that to be over with. I want it to go back to focusing on Obi-Wan. But, you know, that is cool, and it does make sense now in episode 4 why she seeks Obi-Wan's help. She's like, oh shit, we're in orbit of Tatooine. I know somebody who lives on Tatooine that can help us. He helped me once. He helped my father a whole lot. So here you go, R2, take this little message. And yeah, that is all I have to say about Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes 1 and 2. I'm very excited to see episode 3. Cannot wait. I'm really digging it. Hasbro announced a lot of action figures. They announced like 4 fucking Inquisitor figures, one including, the Grand Inquisitor. So I am upset that I'm gonna have to buy those, because I really want them. But yeah, I'm full hype. I'm all aboard that little space shuttle train that goes across the desert. I'm really looking forward to where this show goes. I'm looking forward to seeing Darth Vader. We got the little sneak peek of Vader, who I assume is Hayden Christensen and a bunch of makeup. So I'm excited to see that. I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know, what are your thoughts on the Obi-Wan show? What are your thoughts on all of the Star Wars Celebration news and releases and everything? Have you seen the leaked trailers? Are you waiting on you know, until it comes out officially, or are you just not going to watch the trailers at all? Do you hate Star Wars? Do you love Star Wars? Let me know anything, any thoughts about any of the topics I covered. I'll see you next time. Also, oh wait, before I go, don't forget to buy Destructo Boy, The Era of Alpha Carnal, Part 1 of 2 on Etsy.com/shop/Blake T. Wild. Make sure the B, T, and W is capitalized. Check that out. Really helps me out. Issue 2 is coming shortly. I am working on finishing up this other project that I've been hired on to complete. So after I get that done, after I get paid for that, I will get to publishing issue 2 and selling that online as well. All the reviews I've gotten for Destructo Boy issue 1 have all been great. People seem to love it. They really dig the character. They dig the art. They dig the story. It's just fun little storytelling. So check that out online. And join me next week for, I don't really know, I guess more Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi, some more. Join me next week for more comic book movie news, comic book movie leaks, Star Wars leaks, whatever else I'm reading. I'm not really reading any series right now. I'm slowly working my way back into getting into Next Wave Agents of Hate, because I bought that complete run about a year ago, and then I set it aside to do the Daredevil reread and a bunch of other stuff reads. So I'm slowly working my way back down my stack of to-read stuff. So I'm getting back to that, so stay tuned. That'll be good timing, I guess, with Werewolf by Night coming on sometime soon, relatively, and Elsa Bloodstone appearing. But yeah, next week I'll be talking about Spider-Punk and Excellent number 3. Spider-Punk number 2, Excellent number 3. I'm still disappointed in Spider-Punk. Not the story, but how it's printed. It's just shitty. You can check out my videos on that. What else? I don't know. I might get more comics that I, pre-ordered a while ago. I might get the Zeb Wells continuation of the Spider-Man series in the post by then. I don't know. But yeah, join me next week. Same channel, same place, same Spotify, wherever you listen or watch this at. And I will see you then. Bye.